I beg to move the amendment to Resolution 7. Can I say right from the start that I entirely agree with the objectives of the resolution? My amendment simply seeks to tweak some of the language and, crucially, to make clear precisely who is responsible for many of the problems New Scots face. The amendment, in short, is designed to strengthen the resolution. If I can briefly turn to Resolution 7. I agree many New Scots are not fully aware of their right to vote in Scotland. I strongly agree that New Scots can and will make a real difference to the outcome of the next independence referendum. And I absolutely agree that toxic media reports, particularly from the right-wing tabloid UK press, have a hell of a lot to answer for. However, we know that the UK right-wing press and UK right-wing government go hand in hand. And I don't want any phraseology in this referendum to let the current Conservative government off the hook. So, my amendment seeks to delete paragraph 2 on its own and replace it with phrasing that makes it very clear that it is the current Tory government's hostile environment policy which is at the heart of the problems this resolution seeks to address. This is a nasty, regressive governmental approach which makes it much more difficult for people from overseas to live and work in Scotland. New Scots contribute massively to our economy and our society, and nowhere is this more apparent than in the rural farming communities. I represent the ward of Arbroath West, Letham and Freakham in Angus, and that is a perfect example of that. But sadly, it's also a very good example of how the Tory government's approach has real-life consequences when it comes to immigrants and immigration. A recent survey of NFU Scotland's soft fruit and vegetable growers estimated there is currently a 20% shortfall in seasonal workers, and we are experiencing that in Angus. We hear, on the one hand, that Liz Truss is going to launch a review of the UK's visa scheme to help alleviate these sorts of shortages. But let's all remember, this is the same Liz Truss who enthusiastically bought into the hardest of hard Brexits and literally just appointed Suella Braverman as Home Secretary. Suella Braverman, who said at the Tory party conference this week, and I quote, "I would love to be having the front page of the Telegraph with a plane taking off to Rwanda. It's my dream, that's my obsession." I'm sure Conference believes every migrant should be made to feel welcomed, included and valued in Scotland, and should be shown the sort of progressive, internationalist approach Scotland will be able to take as an independent country. It's absolutely our duty to make sure that everyone living in Scotland is fully aware of their rights as a voter, so everyone can be part of making a choice about the kind of country we want to live in. This resolution implicitly recognises the benefits of inward migration to Scotland, and if the amendment is passed, will condemn the UK government for its damaging failure in this regard. I hope, Conference, that we can pass Resolution 7 amended unanimously. Thank you.